Hello, hello. Welcome into my channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So, welcome in light workers, starseed, twin souls, anybody and everybody on the ascension journey, divine feminines, divine masculines. You are all welcome here. I just posted over on my Patreon a brand new post for the all access patrons and above, and it is all about the astrology and the energy forecast for the month of August, guys. This is a significant departure from the months of June and July. We are seeing some Leo energy, some passionate energy return, the fire energy, our stamina, our endurance, our vitality, our life force, our chi is returning to us in significant amounts. And so we want to utilize this while we have it, especially any of my Scorpio suns out there, because September is going to be a 12th house of healing month for you, where you're wrapping up karmic cycles and you're like, holy shit, haven't I done that enough? But I want to invite, especially my Scorpio suns, to really take advantage of the month of August. Put your nose to the ground and really get, accomplish every task that you can accomplish, right? Really set forth with doing that, because you're going to need to take a rest. It's going to be kind of like Cancer season again, Scorpios, for you next month. It doesn't really apply to anybody else so much, but because October 1st, if you're doing whole house astrology, you will be in your first house energy. And this is a brand new fresh month for my Scorpios. You just want to really make sure that you're utilizing the opportunities that August is presenting to you while they're here. So, take advantage of that, guys. Go check it out over on Patreon. Thank you for your endless support. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you for anyone who's ever purchased off my Amazon wish list. Thank you for anybody who's ever donated. Thank you for anyone who's ever booked a reading with me. Thank you for anyone who's been a part of the groups. And I want to let you guys know that the next group will be in October. So I have set a month. Unless something changes, it will be October 2022. So we're taking a little hiatus. It'll likely start mid-October. And it will be different than previous groups. Okay, so we're gonna have some astrology in there. I took a poll this morning, or was it last night, over on YouTube, and you guys let me know that the things you want to hear about the most are the divine feminine's journey. 44% of you responded with that. Might even be more now. This was hours ago that I looked. And you want to know about the astrology. You want to know about the astrology of twin flames and how this is going to affect this journey, how this is going to affect the divine feminine moving forward. So that's exactly what we're going to give you in this program. Very excited for that. And let us get started with the reading. Oh, and if you would like to purchase a personal reading or a coaching session with me, or the Twin Flame workbook that's now available for sale on the website, you can purchase all of those on the website. If you have any issues, because sometimes my website glitches when it comes to payment, so if you have any issues, please reach out to me. The email is listed below in the description box, and we can book your session that way. I look forward to working with you guys. I have a lot of readings available right now. All right, so let us go ahead and get started. Now, for today's reading, I have two not brand new decks, but it might be brand new to you. I don't use these regularly, so I'm pulling out some of my card decks that I don't use, because I have so many decks and I really want to take advantage of all of them. So this is actually the Cosmic Reading cards, and it is also the Mystical Shaman Oracle. There's a shaman who participated in creating these cards. I think it was two shamans and then a tarot card creator. So they carry a very high energy, high vibrational force. And so I only work with them when I'm really called to. But this month of August, guys, it's Leo energy, the Lion's Gate, Uranus, Mars, North Node conjunction, Uranus going retrograde later this month, the new moon, the full moon. I mean, just like, I'm sure I'm missing something there, but there's just so much energy here, so much energy in the mix. So again, take advantage of it, my love. Take advantage of it. It's yours for the taking. Truly. There's nothing quite like Leo energy. The rattle. So, okay, the first thing that comes to mind is something is being shaken awake inside of you. Something is coming to life. There's, again, the chi is returning. The vital life force energy is returning back to you. So if you felt like maybe it departed, if you felt like you gave your power away in some form or fashion, I talk about taking your power back. Actually, I've posted I think 4, 5, 6 readings recently, and they're really all talking about taking your power back and understanding that what is happening, what is transpiring out there is not a reflection of you, but it is a reflection of the things that we're shedding, of the skins that we're shedding, of the ego deaths that are happening. Narcissism is kind of rearing its head right now in society, as well as just like volatility. Something happened. I pick up these vegan meals every Sunday. It's not in the best neighborhood, granted, but the chef had been gone for a month because he had gotten rear-ended in an accident. So he was raising money to be able to get back on his feet. And somebody came, the first Sunday he was back in his location, somebody came and threatened him. And when I pulled up, there were 3 police cars, and I had just missed this big scene. And he was shaken, and his partner was shaken, and all the witnesses were shaken. So this energy is like, yeah, it's being rattled. People are being rattled internally, and then they're rattling at other people, projecting. So I want to point that out, guys. Don't take anybody else's actions or words personally at this time, because they're not a reflection of you. They're not a reflection of your worth. They're not a reflection of, they're a reflection of what we're purging. Okay. So there's a major purge right now. So this is like, to me, the rattle, when shamans use, they use different instruments. They also are very connected to nature. So they have this idea that if you have an illness or a sickness, that the reason that grew inside of you, the reason that showed up at all, is because you gave away your power. You gave away some part of yourself at some point in time. So they help you call back your power. That's the purpose ultimately of a shaman. So they will use the rattle, and they will shake it in all 4 directions, north, south, east, and west, praying to the 4 directions. And the shaman is, in essence, calling in your destiny. Okay, so inviting you to work with your destiny, inviting you. That's why I offer the North Node reading, guys, my most popular reading. It's calling you, so it helps you understand your purpose, your mission work here, where you've been, where you're going, your gifts, your talents, the karma that you're carrying, how to work with your shadow. And, this is very much the energy of calling in your power, shaking off what isn't yours. Do not absorb other people's negativity right now. That's one of the major lessons that I can share with you guys. Don't absorb other people's negativity. Don't just let it literally just fall off of you. Do not let yourself be taken in by their drama. So when we're praying for the highest good of all, when we call on this rattle energy, calling to the 4 directions, we're praying for the highest good of all involved. And everything we need will be provided to us, because we're asking that this happen not just for us personally, but for the world at large. So this is a greater energy than just the individual. This is about the collective energy right now. Remembering that when spirit gives you gifts, they can be used in a positive way, or they can be used in a negative way. So, if you have the gift of intuition, if you have the gift of insight, you could turn on somebody and use that against them by throwing something they've said to you in an intimate moment, or something they've said to you in because you are a healer, and they could turn around and use those words on you. And so, I'm seeing this happen right now. And again, it's like, I think I've shared this with you guys, but my ex, his soul was divine power, but he misused that power. He was abusing it. He was acting in a narcissistic manner. Now, I'm not going to call him a narcissist, as I might have in the past, because I don't believe in labels, because I now understand and believe that we can heal, and that, those labels are trauma. It's trauma trapped inside the individual. But he was abusing that. And so that is creating negative karma. So use your tools wisely. Make sure you're not, abusing them. Make sure you're not overusing them when it's not necessary. And you are really consciously stepping into partnership right now with the divine, as we all are. This is, again, I just see this as, shaking off not only the yesterdays, the past, but also anywhere where you have given away your power, anywhere where maybe you have not been true to yourself, or where you've let other people, where you've invited other people into your space and then they've somehow abused that invitation. Okay, so this is like the resending of the invitation. Like, you may not come into my energy, you may not come into my space. Okay. Whew. That's some powerful energy. Okay. All right. Divine feminine, my lovely divine feminine's male or female. It is an energy. It is not a gender. If I refer to divine feminine as she or her, or divine masculine as he or him, it's just because it's just a way for me to refer to the energy, but it is not by any means am I saying divine masculine has to be a female, or excuse me, a male, or divine feminine has to be a female. Oh, we've got the world energy here, and we have a serpent creating a circle here, eating its own tail that has come full circle. This reminds me of, the South Node energy, because the South Node energy is like the serpent's tail. And we talk about the North Node energy, your mission work, pairing yourself with the divine, being partners with the divine. This is an energy, something is coming to completion. And we know this because June and July were brutal, and we were seeing a lot of karmic cycles complete. So everything that wasn't in your favor, or not everything that wasn't in your favor, but everything that wasn't blessing your life had to go. Okay. And this is including relationships. This is including jobs. This is including the way in which you make your money. You may have seen, maybe that's changing right now. Maybe you just feel like, I'm not passionate anymore about what I was doing. And you have to change what it is that you're doing, or the way you're doing it. And you have to call on these tools that you have. You have to be true to yourself right now. You have to, because there's no other way. We're still dealing with the restlessness that's, that we had in June and July that is now coming to pass again. It's kind of like we're just cleaning out the contents of June and July, scrubbing ourselves clean. So yeah, we're going through this cycle, this ending of something that had to go. And guys, this really and truly is something that has been weighing on us for a long, long time. Everything has a beginning, everything has its middle. That's kind of life, right? Birth is the beginning, the middle is life, and then the end is death. But everything, the seasons have a completion, the seasons have a cycle. Food has a cycle, the way that it grows. Animals in the animal kingdom have a cycle. Everything, things molt and shed, things hibernate. Everything has a cycle. We day and night, right? Masculine and feminine, yin and yang, moon and sun. We have these cycles that guide us. Just the meaning of time itself is a cycle, right? 12 noon or 12 p.m., 12 noon or 12 a.m., 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., birth and death. It's like we have this energy that guides our entire lives. And this is just the nature of life. This is human existence. So there is a fullness that we're experiencing right now. And I think this is the lead up to the Lion's Gate, where we're going to release. We're going to get the opportunity. Yes, it's a portal opening, but there's also a door closing. Every time we open a door, we've got to close a door. So this is the completion of the cycle, and whatever it contained, whatever that door or room contained, it's like it's being thrown out the window. It's got to go. We can't take that with us. It's too heavy now. We have to let people go. We have to let things go. We have to let belief systems go. We have to move forward. So you have finished a cycle. There is no doubt about it. The rattle could also, to me, signify a celebration of sorts. Celebrating some sort of a ritual that you might have, dancing, singing, joyfulness being brought back in. And this is the energy of Leo, sitting in the 5th house, basking in the energy of the sun. People call themselves, sun, I don't know, they say they survive by the energy of the sun. But there is something to the solar energy and the solar power, harnessing the energy of the sun, harnessing the energy of vitamin D, and inviting this back into our world. We're in the months of summer. It's hot. It's very hot in most places, unseasonably hot for some places. So utilize this to your advantage, and, allow yourself to release what you're ready to let go of. It's time to reap your harvest. It's time for celebration. It is time for you to receive karmic rewards. You know, where you were going through karmic cycles, this is like, okay, now I get to benefit from the work that I've done and receive karmic rewards. Just out of curiosity, for shits and giggles, let's ask the cards, what about the Divine Masculine's energy? Magic, interesting. Magic flipped over in the deck, but this one actually came out. The Council. So they are also partnering with the divine. They are also calling on their guides and their light team, their spiritual team. And it's this beautiful, magical, divine energy of 11 coming in. So I really like that for them. And there's no doubt about it. The masculine is changing. There's no doubt about it that the masculines are working with spirit. They're tapping into their more spiritual essence, their spiritual side. They're starting to believe in the journey. They're starting to believe in themselves. They're starting to believe the things that you said before, that they're like, there's no way that couldn't be true because it's not logical. It doesn't make sense. You know, X plus Y doesn't equal, you know, H. It's like they just couldn't understand. They couldn't put the puzzle pieces together to make it make sense. And all of a sudden, it's just making sense by itself. Now, this does, to me, speak about a life review, okay? It speaks about, like, a death of sorts and how you would have a life review, you know, with God or whomever your higher power is, if that's what you believe. And then you would, you know, maybe go to the in-between, the kind of that waiting room where you're waiting to be reborn again, or you're waiting to be born into another form. But first you have that life review. You reflect on what you did. You reflect on your actions, your words, your relationships, and everything that transpired. And I think that this is really significant for the divine masculines. Really significant. They're being taught how wise they actually are and what they carry inside of them. They're really, you know, the judgment energy. They're forgiving themselves. They're being more lenient with themselves. They're giving themselves space and time instead of kind of like forcing themselves into a specific reality or a specific situation. They're really dissecting the moves that they've made, especially when it comes to power moves. Was that the right move? Did I choose head over heart? You know, where did that bring me? Where did that lead me? Am I happy in this place? Am I content? Is this false joy? What would have actually brought me joy, or what would bring me true joy and true abundance? The realization that abundance is not money. The realization that abundance really isn't connected to money at all, because money is just energy. You're abundant when you're happy, when you're in joy. You're abundant when you're surrounded, when you feel connection with people, when you're surrounded by people who understand you and see you and get you. You're abundant when you're living your truth, when you're being who you truly are. And I mean, how many people can say, yes, I'm truly myself in every situation? How many people can really say that? They're being really discerning at this time. They are forgiving. They're in a very, very deep energy of forgiveness, and they're very much in their hearts. They're very much in a love energy. Okay, love for self, love for others. This is significant, guys. It's very significant. You know, I don't dwell on the masculine energy. I don't talk about the masculine energy that much anymore, but it's, you know, it's significant. And this is just to help you understand your masculine energy. This is to help us understand the world at large and what is going on. So, you know, take this above and beyond your connection with your twin flame, okay, or your higher level soulmate, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, it's a label, and apply this in that way. Apply this to other parts of your life. Apply this to the divine masculine energy at large, in your community, in the collective, at work, your father, your brother, etc. Choices. I had a feeling that would come up. So it's not really kind of the energy of the Seven of Cups, not really. because I don't see the confusion that the Seven of Cups would bring. It's not even a crossroads. It's not even a fork. Maybe a fork in the road would be more a good visualization of what I feel with this card today. It just feels like there's a lot of abundant choices available. She's abundant in every direction. Whichever choice you make, it will be the right one. Okay, so you're probably like, great, thanks. You know, that's really helpful, Sarah. But that's what I feel. I feel like there is no wrong choice here. Whatever door you decide to open is a door that's been waiting for you to open it. So it's just, you're going to open all the doors eventually of your life that you're meant to open. It's just a matter of which one you're choosing to open right now. So this is a unique perspective, I think, on this card, but it's what's coming through for me. So let's just take a look here, because I don't work with this deck that often. Yeah, I don't really resonate with what it's saying. It says it's challenging, it's hard. I don't really feel that. I feel like there's so much growth to be had for whichever direction you choose to move in. So I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I don't think there's a wrong direction. In fact, the opposite. I feel like whatever it is that you choose will be the right one for you right now. And will lead you to the next door, and so on and so forth. Mirrored souls, so the energy of the twin flame, the energy of the eternal flame. Yeah, this is inner union. So you're making choices right now that are leading you towards, or your counterpart could be doing the same, that are leading you towards that desired union. Inner union leads to outer union always. You can't first have outer union and then come into inner union. It has to be the inner union leading to the outer union. At least that's my understanding at this point in time. Everything is subject to change. You know, that's an energy right now too. Everything is subject to subjectivity. Everything is subject to change. Everything is subject. You're in a week's time, like, you could just be like, nothing makes sense. None of this makes sense. And that's just the energy that we're in, you know. Uranus is coming in and going retrograde this month, and he conjuncted yesterday with Mars in the North Node in Taurus. You know, he's the great agitator. He comes in to fuck things up and shake stuff around, and he's like, whatever's not he's the sign of revolution, of revolt, of going against the grain, of being a rebel. It's rebellious energy. So, you know, you're probably going to make choices that others aren't going to think are right. You might make choices that like all of a sudden you just come to this decision out of nowhere, and then you're just like, I'm out of here. This could be, you know, exiting workplaces, or like moving to another country, or, you know, getting out of a relationship where you're just like, this isn't working for me anymore. And I don't think this is going to be difficult. I think there's too much radiance in here. There's too much light. There's gold. She's like adorned in gold. And her third eye is open, so she's making the right decision. She's utilizing her intuition. But your counterpart is assisting you with these choices, okay? Counterpart, it doesn't matter if you're in separation. The spiritual union is where the truth is. Spiritual union is where the seed is, where the journey begins, guys. If you guys, you know, if you're watching this and you're struggling with the longing or the separation or a karmic partner, God, those are fun. Check out the workbook, because it's 26 pages. It's got, I think, 4 or 5 pages, maybe more, of exercises and journaling, you know, deep questions you can ask yourself to assist you on this journey, as well, you know, to reflect, but as well as talking about the different stages of the journey and getting you through them and helping you understand them. It's a guide. It's a workbook, but it's a guide. You know, it's like a friend holding your hand, helping you understand why these things are happening the way they're happening. How do you get to inner union? What does that look like? What does that mean? You know, it's this whole process of meeting the twin, and then, you know, having that honeymoon period, then going into separation, and then finding yourself, and then the in and the out behavior, and the hot and the cold, and then the twin denying the connection. And it's just like, what the hell is this? You know, talk about agitation and frustration. That's the twin flame journey in a nutshell. So what do we have here? What's this? Gratitude. Yeah, I do feel like there's a heart opening here from the divine masculines, especially with the council card. And yeah, they're nearing, a cycle completion as well. So I think there's a lot of energy to grab from this month, guys. I think there's a lot of energy here that is really beautiful. And yeah, there are challenges. I mean, the energy, the astrology, the energy of the astrology for 2022 doesn't let up. Through the end of the year, we'll have 5 planets in retrograde. Okay, I think it's like by October, 5 planets in retrograde. At least 2 of which are going to be retrograde until January 2023. So this is going to be an interesting new year, an interesting marking of the end of the year, walking into the new year, 2023. But yeah, the astrology has predicted everything that's happening externally. If you look, I remember looking back at the astrology of 2020 and 2019 and going, fuck. It was like Uranus in Taurus, and I was just like, oh, what? And I just remember reading about, how collectively it was going to influence us. And it was predicted, that what happened was going to happen. This is not a surprise that things transpired the way they did in these past few years. And, it's an uprising. It's a revolution. It's an awakening. So, we're here for that. Our souls were born for this. And, I can't stress enough how important it is to be authentic to yourself right now, to not take anything personally, and to really and truly just walk your authentic path. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Don't worry about anybody else and their path and what they're doing. The people that need to be removed from your life right now will be removed. Okay? The situations that need to go, that have an expiration date, those will also be removed at this time. You're not going to have to go out and seek it. It's going to just present itself to you. It's not something you're going to have to go out and try, like, oh gosh, I have to seek this out. It's just going to be, there it is. The opportunity is there. Let's see here. Okay, I want to pull one more card. The medicine wheel. Okay, let's take a look at that. What do we know about the medicine wheel? How do we utilize this energy, guys? Well, a shaman, as I said, looks at, illness as it manifesting because you've given away your power somewhere. So when the shaman carries a medicine wheel, it's something that's been used for a long, long time in indigenous cultures, Native American cultures, other indigenous cultures. And again, they have this kind of, not obsession with 4, but the 4 cardinal directions, right? The 4 steps the shaman takes to become a person of power and wisdom. And so this, we have 2 cards here, representing the 4 cardinal directions. I forgot that this also represents the 4 directions. So it's like, north, south, east, and west, where you've been, where you're going. Let me see, actually, because I'm trying to remember the 4 directions. There is a significance. And I wonder if this is the book. I wonder if this is the book that talks about it. North, south, east, west. I thought it was, but it must be another one. I have so many. Let me see. Okay, yes. Okay, so the south is what you need to let go of. The north represents the wisdom, the destiny, like south node, north node, the wisdom that you need to acquire to move forward. Okay, so the lessons, taking the lessons from the past, taking your gifts, and then allowing them to propel you forward. The west is a part of you that needs to die, that you need to just literally, like what we're going through right now. And then the east energy is your possible destiny. The way in which you will share your treasures and gifts with others. Okay, cool. Glad I found that. So It says this represents the cycle of life, the cycle of nature, and the circular pattern of our cosmos. So if we want to manifest what it is that we desire, we have to take a look at all of these aspects of our inner being, all these aspects of what it is that we're projecting out there into the world, every single day, every minute of every day. And, you know, reflect on these energies. What am I clinging to? What gifts can I use to take me forward? Am I walking the path of my destiny? How am I sharing, you know, pieces of me with the world? Is there a part of me that I'm hiding from the world? What is the part of me that needs to die? Like ego death. What is the part of me that needs to go? You know, and you can work with these energies. It looks like cougar energy, hummingbird, serpent, and it looks like eagle. Do you know your passion? You know, like, this is what I help people find and these readings. Do you know your passion? Do you understand yourself? The deeper we can understand ourselves, we are our own guides, our own healers, our own teachers, and this is what we're moving towards. People call it the age of Aquarius. Some astrologers don't believe that actually exists, or they just, you know, they don't talk about it. This is not something that is in their vocabulary. But regardless, we're in an age of enlightenment and awakening. Call it, again, it's a label, call it whatever you want. But we are in an era of speaking and living our truth. And the real, like waking up from the dream, waking up from the slumber, waking up from what it is that we thought we were to become who we actually are. So we have all these tools, you know, at our disposal. And this is the ending of something major. This Lion's Gate is going to be major, guys. It's going to really allow you to shed your skin, to slough off the old skin, the cells. You know, like some of you might cut your hair during this Lion's Gate. You might just, like, because hair contains energy. Some of you might like shave body hair. Some of you might go and just in some way change up your look. I just feel that. It's like Venus is in Cancer, and you know, it's like Venus, there's this energy that, you know, she was hanging out and dignifying this Uranus, Mars, and North Node conjunction, blessing it really. And with that, you know, she's inviting you to kind of not radically change, but to change something in some way, change the way, you know, your appearance, change the way you look at relationships, or relationships are changing right now. And a lot of karmic debts have been paid. Karmic debts have been paid, completion energy. So there's no need to continue looking back, continue opening that old story, that old chapter. Let it go, seal it, let it go, put it on the bookshelf, give it away, you know, throw that book away, burn it, whatever. You don't need to keep on going back. You're not that same person anymore. So I really hope that this has given you clarity. The only thing I ask, guys, to support the channel, please drop a like. It takes 2 seconds. It really helps the people who need to find my videos. If you can, share my videos, subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber. And once again, thank you all for being here. I feel like this was a very necessary reading, and it felt very powerful. It's like I didn't feel the necessity to do a reading, and then all of a sudden it struck me at about 6:30. I was like, I have to sit down and do this reading. So I'm really trying to tune into that these days, rather than just, you know, coming on here just for the sake of doing a reading. I'm really trying to be authentic with the information as it wants to come out. But so much love, guys, so much love and so much power in these energies in the month of August. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Take good care.